all of you wizards and witches, muggles and no magics. Today's video is inspired by the wonderful world of Harry Potter. So with the new film of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is fantastic by the way if you've not already been to see it, I decided to make something wizard themed for this week's bake. So to start with, we're going to make some homemade pocky. So if you haven't had pocky before, it's like a biscuit stick dipped in chocolate. So we're going to turn these ones into wands. So to make the basic mix, all you need is 160 grams of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And to this, we're going to add 55 grams of butter. So we're just going to crumb it in to start with. So it's a bit messy. So it's like if you're making pastry, it's the same kind of basic principle. So you're just going to rub it in with your fingertips till it's all nice and breadcrumby. If you've got a food processor, you can use a food processor with a blade and it'll do the same job. Twice as quick. So there we are, all nice and crumbed in. So there's not very many big lumps of butter in there now. It's like a breadcrumb consistency. So to this mix, we're going to add 1/3 of a cup or 80 mils of sweetened condensed milk, which is like heaven. Look at that, baby. Didn't think this through. Gonna need a spatula. Can't find a spatula! Or a little plastic tool. So that's our condensed milk, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of water, which works out at 1/8 of a cup if you've got cup measurers. So I've got a messy tool, I may as well use that, so I'm just going to work that in, and then I'm going to go in with my hands to form a dough. So what we're going to do next is get all this together as a dough, knead it a little bit to make sure it's all nicely worked through, and then I'm going to wrap it in cling film and stick it in the fridge for 30 minutes just to harden up a little bit. And then we get to do the exciting part, which is starting to make our wands. So there's our dough, it's come together really easily. It's nice. It's lovely. So I'm going to roll it into a bit of a sausage shape. I'm going to wrap it in cling film and then I'm going to go and put my feet up for half an hour. So 30 minutes later, we have a nice hard-ish set sausage of pocky dough. So I'm just going to very lightly flour my surface just so it doesn't stick. And then we get to start rolling some wands. So obviously, in the wizarding world, everyone has a different wand, so I don't want these to look the same. But I am going to kind of measure out my dough. Well, not exactly, but try and keep my dough even so that they bake at the same time. So I'm going to cut it in half. I think I'm going to aim to get 8 out of this. So I'm going to try and make them all different shapes. We'll see how it goes. Just going to work this dough a little bit so it's a bit easier to mould. And then I'm just going to roll them into like a sausage shape, and then from there I'll kind of try and make each one look a bit different. So because they're wands, they don't need to look perfect, which is good, because obviously it's quite hard to roll sausages out of dough. But you can kind of pinch them in at the ends to make bits stick out. You could add extra bits of dough if you wanted to at this stage, but I'm actually going to add extra bits when I decorate them, so it's not too critical at the moment. So there's my first wand. And then we'll lay these out on a lined baking tray. And I actually should have said earlier, my oven's preheated to 160 degrees centigrade, which is 140 fan, or 325 if you're on Fahrenheit. So there's my first very large wand. So I've got one very long wand. I'm not going to make anything with that because it's all crumbled up. I'm going to make one short wand and then I'll cut to the after I've got them all ready. So I don't know how many people have been on Pottermore to see what their one looks like, but I actually really want to get mine made because it looks fantastic. Paddy's giving me evils now. I can't remember what it was made out of, but I know it had unicorn hair in it. That was my car. I'm also a Gryffindor even though I'm wearing a Slytherin t-shirt. So saying about making a small one, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll lop that off the end. And I'm going to wrap that around to make the end look a bit different. So this should adhere to itself. If it doesn't, just a tiny bit of water will make it adhere. And give that one a blobby end. Right, so I'll come back when I've got all the rest of them rolled. So there are my 8 ones. I can't lift this up too much because they roll everywhere. They all look a bit different from each other. I will show you in more detail when they come out of the oven and they're nice and brittle. These are going to go in the oven now for between 20 and 25 minutes. They might need a little bit longer because they're a lot thicker than the actual pocky recipe would be. I'll let you know when they come out of the oven. But I'll be back in 20 minutes time. So there we go, we've got some ones! Well, they're a little bit soft in places. I think they'll probably firm up completely once they're... Yeah, they're alright. Once they cool completely, but we can swish and flick. And they're all different. So this one's really big. This one's got a curly whirly end. This one's got a little like bump on the end. This one's got a right big fat end on it. So, come back in the next video and I'll show you different ways of decorating them. But for now, these are some rather funky ones and I think I need to try one to see, just to make sure that they taste nice. So which one looks the crappiest? Which one am I going to eat? I can't decide. I've got 2 pretty like long basic looking ones. So we'll eat this one. It's got a nice snap. And a nice crunch. And it actually tastes really, really nice. So I'd highly recommend that recipe, even just as a biscuit recipe, not necessarily to make anything like this out of. So, hopefully I will see you in my next video, where I shall decorate these ones in a whole different array of ways. And if you like the video, please give me a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And if you can think of anything you'd like me to make, drop me a comment down below. We'll see you soon!